Welcome to the Dr. Sam Show. We are live on the air. I just opened up the show on radio. We taking a quick commercial break, and we come back. We got an exciting show. I'm going to be talking about first the things, the heart of a man. I'm going to open up about some things that ladies need to know about what men go through, good and bad, and how they respond to it. And also for some of you men that are watching or need somebody to be your spokesperson, I'm going to do that today. I'm going to be the men's spokesperson, the spokesperson for the men. That's what I'm going to do today. Later on in the show coming up, we got dating and relationship misconceptions. We're going to be talking about that. But stay tuned. We got a great show coming up. I'm going to open up about the heart of a man, and later we got dating and relationship misconceptions. I got Nene Delanita Ash coming in and Ms. Rhonda Cobb. They're going to join me in that discussion. We're going to rock and roll. This is going to be a great show, man. I'm excited about this. I hope you're having a great weekend. We're about to go back on the air. I love you, man. Keep on striving. Keep on doing what you do. And I'm telling you, from the Dr. Sam Show and even Mr. D over here, we all love you. And stay tuned. This is going to be good. Mr. D do love y'all. Mr. D love everybody.
I'm sorry I missed the festivities.
He talking about these festivities. He missed the swimming pool. Mr. D didn't want to go by that pool.
Are you going to the hospital again?
Let me see what that say right quick.
No, son.
I notice every time I look at this,
pharmacy sent me to the hospital.
It be like when you walk up to the camera, look at it, it looks creepy because your face be in like
right.
What y'all looking at? Good morning, everybody. I made an announcement. We just waiting to go back on the air. We gonna get started, getting it ready to go. I'm gonna divulge some stuff about how men feel and what's the inner thoughts and inner emotions of a man. This gonna be good because I gotta open up a little bit today. I feel led to do that. And then, like I said, we're gonna be talking about dating and relationship misconceptions. So it's a wonderful thing. How long we got?
About 30 seconds.
Looking for uncommon talent? Meet the grads of life. They're not the typical candidates you're
Let me make sure I can see them over here. Yep, right here.
entry-level positions, internships, and even mentorships. Go to gradsoflife.org.
I forgot to do my info right quick. I'll do it when I come back on.
The National Baseball Hall of Fame Museum in Cooperstown. Relive baseball.
La 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 la.
Plan your family visit today. Baseballhall.org.
Hold on, I just need to jam a little bit. I just need to jam for like 10 seconds. I'm good. All right, I'm ready. And we're back. For those of you that just tuning in, you are listening to your friend, the incomparable Dr. Sam, on the Dr. Sam Show, where we are giving prescriptions for your heart, relationship, money, mind, and soul. I am in the house at the moment with Mr. D, our extraordinary engineer producer, who is in the building. And Mr. D is not going next to any swimming pools no time soon. But that's a whole nother story I have to share with you at a later time. And to connect with the Dr. Sam Show, go to our website, www.thedrsamshow.us. And the reason I got .us because I love you so much. I would have picked .com, but I wanted US. Well, also somebody already took the com part. But and also check us out, the Dr. Sam Show on Facebook, where you can like us. I put a lot of things on that Dr. Sam Show Facebook, and you can check out everything we doing. And I mean, we doing a lot. We're really moving. God is blessing. The business is really moving rapidly. So we keeping up with that. Also, check me out every Wednesday in the Toledo Journal under the Ask Dr. Sam column, where I'm also giving advice for your heart, relationship, money, mind, and soul. Where every Wednesday I come out with a new article about something that I'm thinking about that you want to know, and I answer questions I get from my readers, and I put that in there and just give my advice on that. Also, check out the podcast. You can go to my website, or you can go to the Dr. Sam Show like page and click on Audio Boom with /Dr. Sam, and it will take you back to all of the shows, all the way back to August 2nd 2015 that we have done on the air. And so it's so many different shows, so many topics. I believe I have 100 some shows. I gotta check the count again. I haven't looked on that count in a while, but I got over 100 shows on that podcast. So that's a great thing. Also, for those of you who didn't know, I have the Dr. Sam television show. We have personally started. We shot the pilot and showed that on July the 4th. And also, we've been recording a lot of shows. Yesterday, I did 5 or 6 shows in a row. With my guests, and I'm telling you, all of them knocked it out of the park. You'll be checking those interviews out. And what we're doing with the television show first, because we got some people that are interested in it already, and but I'm running it through YouTube so I can kind of get the immediate feedback, so I could check who's watching, what their comments are, whether they're good or negative, and just getting that data. I think it's very important in any business to know your numbers, because if you don't know your numbers, you don't know where you're going or what you're working with. So check out YouTube. And the Dr. Sam Show is every Tuesday at 4 p.m. That's when we bring it up on YouTube. Every Tuesday at 4 p.m. a new episode of the Dr. Sam Show. So check out this Tuesday at 4 o'clock when my guest is former pro athlete and prolific author, Mr. Paris Edwards, and we're talking about 365 Days of Happiness. That's a book that he has written. It's a great book. And we're just talking about happiness and some other things we threw in there. I'm telling you, man, Paris was the first interview I did yesterday on television. And, man, I'm telling you, he knocked it out the park. So we appreciate that. So check that out, the Dr. Sam television show, Tuesday at 4 p.m. on YouTube. Go on there and subscribe, so I can see who's watching and what you're saying and what you're not saying and all that good stuff. So check that out, the Dr. Sam show. Well, one of the things, like I said, our topic for today is going to be dating and misconception, and I'm going to do that at the second half of the show when Delanita and Rhonda get here. We're going to be talking about that together, because I know they got a lot of funny dating stories, and I'm going to correct them on all of them. And we're going to talk about misconceptions in relationship. What is your misconception or perception of a relationship that you either think it should be or never knew how it could be? So we're going to be talking about that. But first, I want to open up today about some things that men either go through, that share some stuff about what men go through where they don't share, or they don't talk about, or it's hard, or they don't understand. And if the men today that are listening will let me represent you today, I would appreciate it. I would approach the bench and say, Your Honor, can I do that? But I'm stopped right here at the men and say, can I represent you? And I got a couple of things I want to speak in behalf of men today, ladies. So a lot of you ladies are already involved with men that are broken in some type of way. And I'm not saying all men are broken, but all of us have some type of space or some type of void or some type of thing that we need fixed, we need healing. And ladies, when I say fix, I don't mean you fix it. I mean we have to fix it. It's an internal thing with us, but we have to fix and correct some things. And so today, by starting that off, I want to share a few things in my own life that I thought would be important. And I used to be a guy that didn't really open up about a lot of anything. I like my sisters told me last week, I was always a guy that kept things close to the chest. That's just how I was, because I didn't trust a lot of people. Because one of the things I used to really didn't trust, and I'm a lot better than I was before, is that once you open up, especially you open up to a woman, and men, we really don't open up being vulnerable to another man unless we really in pain and just don't care. But a lot of times I wouldn't open up completely to a woman because I didn't trust the backlash. And ladies, let me explain to you what possibly the backlash. A lot of you that are single and will be with a man one day or be in a relationship, and ladies that are in relationships right now, and then ladies that have been in relationships and no longer are in those. When a man opens up to you, and let me tell you this, I'm gonna be honest with you, ladies. Let me tell you that the man that you are with, the man that you lost, and the man you will be with, really wants to open up to you. See, one thing about us men about opening up, and when I say open up, what I mean is to open up and be totally vulnerable to somebody. As I've said on this show before, we can't be lions all the time. And before I go on, I want to say too, we're live now on Facebook. So if you go on my Facebook Sam Millett page or Dr. Sam Show page or the Sam Millett the third page, I am live on Facebook. That's me waving at all of you right there. We are live, so you can see me on Facebook also while I'm on the radio. So I wanted to throw that in. And also, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, the number is 866-720-1470 or 419-9721-SAM. If you want to text, you got questions or comments, concerns, so I want to make sure I'm doing that. But let me get back to what I was saying. One of the things, lady, the man you were with, the man that you lost, or the man you will in the future be with, all men want to open up to the woman, that one woman. We want to be vulnerable to that woman where we can tell her anything. But with men, the problem with us is men are afraid of the backlash. The backlash is once you see me as not being a roaring lion in that man and I show my vulnerability, men fear that you won't look at him the same anymore. And you might even think he weak. You might even think he a punk. These are real concerns that men have. So most of the men, ladies, most of the men that you looking at right now, whether you in church, in a car, or eating dinner, or listening on your phone at this show, they all think that. Oh, by the way, I better tell you this too. We're now live too on Heart Radio if you listen by phone, and Simple Radio. Man, I gotta keep getting to add these in. The Simple Radio, if you got those two apps, Simple Radio, you can go to 100.7 FM, and we are on the phone too right now. So tell Aunt Betty that. And so, a lot of times men are afraid to be vulnerable because of the backlash. And I wanted to share that. One thing I want to share too while I'm talking about that is myself. I've been going through a unique experience, and at the moment, and something I never really been in, and it's caused me for the last, I'll be honest with you, a couple of weeks to be real emotional about I think some things that I needed in growing up, but I didn't start getting in it to getting it now. And one of the most important things for a man is whoever the first female he comes in contact with, which would be his mom, however that relationship is developed is going to depict to a certain extent of how he interacts with women as he get older and things he need to understand. Like this past last week, I called a meeting when my sisters was in town, because we all don't stay in the same state. We stay in 3 separate states. And I talked about them and petitioned them about some stuff that we have in common and we didn't understand about each other. And I felt that it was very important because, and I'm using this as an example because I said I was going to open up and share about my life today, is that I love my sisters. I love my sisters. I think the world of them. But we didn't have, our continuities as siblings was off. And it was because of misunderstandings or questions not being asked or perceptions that were created from all of us that wasn't necessarily true. But so I've got us together and poured my heart out. They poured their heart out. We just talked about some stuff. And we got a lot of things straightened out. I cried. I'm going to tell y'all, to be honest with you, I'm just keeping it real. I cried because that moment with my siblings, my sisters, was that powerful to me in that moment. And it's just like when you encounter whether relationship with your mother or your father or your cousins, or if somebody's not even related to you, that experience was very powerful for me. And it was very important that I got that that situation right, my sister. So I was crying, they was crying. I think my younger sister, I don't know if she was crying, I think she was laughing. But it was a very powerful moment. It made me emotional because that's what I wanted. And the best thing I did was, and I want both ladies and men, I want you to get this point right here I'm about to make. Sometimes you have to take the initiative. You can't wait. Sometimes, especially in relationships, we wait to see what the other one's gonna do. But sometimes you got to do it. And it only takes one person to initiate a conversation or initiate a healing, initiate a standard, initiate a reunion, initiate emotional healing. It takes one person to start it. It takes two to split it up. It takes one to bring it back together again, or initiate, or be the ignition in the car. And so in that case, that's what I did. A lot of things for, like I said, the last couple of weeks, I've been emotional, and I didn't know why the last couple of weeks until I did two things. First of all, I asked God what's going on, because I know when you're emotional and some stuff going on inside, it's a healing that's taking place in your spirit and in your mind. And number two, I had to ask myself, what am I supposed to be doing or getting out of this right here in the moment? And that's a very important question you have to always ask yourself, because you should be progressing through life and growing. And so that's what I was doing. So we talked about that and got that stuff straight. But what I want to tell you about men and emotions, lady, your man has just as much emotions that you do. We just deal with them different as men. But your man gets hurt. Sometimes he feel disrespected. Sometimes he feel depressed. Sometimes he feel like he ain't doing enough, got enough, or pushing enough. Sometimes men do that. And I know a lot of times you can't tell or you don't see it. But a lot of times men are going through some of the same things you are, but we do it in different ways, because we're taught in society to be strong, and being weak would be crying in front of your woman or showing your vulnerability. But it's not true at all. Now, I'm not saying that people won't look at you like that, but I'm saying when you get with that right woman or man, none of that will matter, because I will always see you as the queen that you are. And ladies, you should always see the man for the king that he is to you. If you're with him and you're married to him, that means it was something about that man that you loved and liked. You know, we talked about you have to love somebody and like them. You just can't be in love. Love is not enough in a conversation. We're going to talk about that. You got to like the person also. So men have emotions, and some of the men that you sitting right next to right now talking about or thinking about, they have emotions, and some of them are extremely hurt. Some of them are hurt right now and you don't even know it. And one of the best things you can do for a man, and ladies, you better listen to this. One of the best things you could do for a man is in pain is to say, honey, what's wrong? You can ask him, tell him you can trust me, and then let him open up and shut up and listen. And just let him talk. It's the same thing that, ladies, you want from the man. So men, it's the same thing. Let that man talk. Let him get it out of the chest, and reassure him after he communicates with you that he is all and everything he has ever been to you. And it's the same thing for men. When you talking to your lady and she opens up, you shut up and listen to what she have to say. And I'm using the word shut up because it's that strong, it's that important. And then once she gets done, you reassure her that she the queen that she's always been to you, and you support her and you are with you. But I'm talking about the men today, of course, a little bit more. When men open up in their emotions, lady, I'm telling you, you better not mess or burn that experience up, because if you do, it'll be hard for him to do it again. But I'm sharing it from this point today. That men have emotions. Men want people to love and understand them. Men want to cry. Men want to jump up and down and be happy. Men want to express themselves without being looked at as other than what he's always been, because he has stuff too. Men cannot be lions all the time. So that's one of the things I want to tell you about. Men have their emotions, and they want to cry, they want to laugh, they want to be happy. The same things you do, lady, they want it. And so the man that you have, the man that you lost, or the man you will get with, he has all of those things. So always take care of your man's emotions. And lady, let me leave you with this before I move on to the next one. The same way you want your emotions taken care of, and that's important to you, it's important to men, but you just have to do it in a little different way. You got to let him express himself. You got to do the AAA, the same AAAs I have for you, lady, for the men. The AAAs, remember, for the men, is you got to acknowledge him, affirm him, and appreciate him. And men, for the ladies, you have to appreciate them, you have to pay them the attention, and you have to give them some affection. But so the men, if you affirm him, if you acknowledge him, he's going to he'll open up to you so much more, and you'll be able to understand him a lot better. So in his emotions, men want to be taking care of their emotions. The second thing I want to talk about in that same format is the healing. There are a lot of hurting men out in the world. And ladies, a lot of the men that you are with right now, they are hurting. and they are hurting because of something that happened in the past. It could be something, he lost his job. He could feel he's inadequate. He can think you too good for him. There are so many things that men are hurting because of situations they have been in. They might have had parents that didn't love them. They might have been broke all their childhood coming up through the teenage years. There are so many things that affect the male psyche that keeps him from sometimes healing, because it's not really dealing with that psyche and that program in his mind that say, I'm supposed to be a man and I'm supposed to be able to do this, but I can't do this because these situations. And so he's hurting. And that man that wants to provide for you, give you the world, and he feels like he can't, he's hurting. The man that didn't have the good relationship with his mother, he's with you and he want to give you more, but he's hurting. He hasn't recovered from that. And most of the time, a lot of men won't go to counselors because they feel like they don't need to. But I'm telling you this to help you encourage your man. Let him and heal. And ladies, this is how you help your man heal. It goes back again to the listening. You got to give him the freedom to open up without no repercussions. You got to talk about, well, and a lot of men ain't going to want to talk about this. Some will, some won't. What really happened to him? Because the reason I'm telling you this is he really wants to talk about it. What you got to deal with him is how he will feel during and after the conversation. That's why I always tell ladies, if you can reassure your man that if he can't trust nobody on the planet, he can trust you. He'll open up about some things. He'll talk about some things. He'll get an epiphany, a revelation, some things. And these things will cause him to be able to heal just in the conversation alone. And just because the woman, which is you, the one and only, understands him when nobody else did. That's all part of helping a man heal. Because ladies, I'll say it again, you are around a lot of hurting men. And the reason these men are hurting because circumstances and situations that happen to them also. And they never really dealt with it. Nobody's dealt with it with them. And so that's how you help him heal. You allow him to express himself. You make it feel comfortable that if nobody in the world loves like him or can be trusted, it's you that can. You want to do that with a man. And when you do that with a man, I don't mean keep asking him the question. Because if you ask a man a question one time the right way, you won't have to ask him the same question 10 times over. Because I know, ladies, a lot of times when your communication, your dialogue, if the man is not opening up or he'll talk, you would tend to do and think that if you keep asking, eventually you're going to break him. But how you do it, ladies, and you better listen to what I'm about to tell you. This is how you get a man to open up to you. You got to come to him and you got to make him feel like he has freedom, and there will be no repercussions for opening up. So you got to say something like, honey, I want to tell you I love you so much, and you the man of my dreams, and whatever you tell your husband to build him up. Because remember, if he's going to open up, you got to acknowledge him, you got to affirm him, and then you got to appreciate him. If you do those AAAs in a one conversation, when you talking to your man and your voice tone is right and he feels the love, even a little sexiness if you got it, he will open up to you and want to talk to you. Don't ask him that after he get off of work. Don't ask him when he done whatever he did in the field. Ask him when you guys have downtime or when you in a place. Sometimes you might want to take him out the house. Y'all might want to walk or go out to dinner somewhere quiet and ask him that question. I would admonish you probably to ask it at home in your safest place together. You know, some is the bedroom, some is the kitchen, some is the living room, the dining room, wherever your safest place at home is, and where you mostly have your conversations where you both open it up. A lot of people that's married normally are lay in the bed and they have them open conversations. If that's how you do it, that's when you want to tell him that. That's when you want to talk to him about that. You don't want to deal with him when he got stuff going on around him that it demands his immediate attention. You want to get his attention, and because you want to have some time. So you don't want to get him when he running out the door to work to ask him them type of questions. You want to have some time. So that's how you get a man to open up. That's the start of getting your man. Find the safest place you guys communicate. You come in the right way using those AAAs and put some sweetness on your voice, a little sexiness, like I said, if you know how to do it. And your man is going to open up to you because, let me tell you something. They want to. We want to. We want to open up to the woman that we're in love with, and that is the woman, not a woman. We don't want to open up to a woman. It's just like, and let me deal with that for a quick second. A lot of times when you have men that's in relationships, say they married, and they had a woman on the, and say they got a woman on the side. I don't mean a woman like a side chick. I mean just another woman. That woman that listens to him without no judgment, she normally gets all the conversation. That's what I'm trying to tell you. A lot of you have even lost men because you would not listen to him and let him be vulnerable enough that if he shared his life with you, he shared his vulnerabilities, his scares and his fears, you would still look at him as that lion and say, I know you a lion, honey, and I love you, and you are the one. And I understand that we got issues that we have to heal from, and I'm here to support you, I'm here to understand you, and I'm here to walk with you through this whole thing. Y'all, I'm just telling you the truth today about the inner workings of how a man, we talking about the heart of a man today in the first part of the show. And like I said, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, the number is 866-720-1470 or 419-972-1-SAM. So let me go on to the next one and talk about voids. A lot of men have voids in their life because of some things they didn't get as a child. I know for a fact a lot of guys didn't grow up with their dads in their household, and in some cultures is more than others. And you know, I've been fortunately enough that my mom and dad are still married, going on almost 50 years, and I've always had my dad there. So I had an alpha male to deal with, but a lot of men do not. And so it's a void there when they're trying to figure out some things and to a degree. And me, this is my personal Dr. Sam stuff. I don't care how good a mother is. She can never be a father, and she can never be a man. She can't ever play them roles. The role that she can only play is being the mom and the best mom she can to her son. And we talking about men today. And so when a man grows up without that male figure in her life, it's a balance that he's out of a little bit. I know that because I watched it. I've had conversation with people I know. They acknowledge the difference between me and them because of my dad, because they didn't have a dad. And I really didn't even know it was different until they acknowledged it to me, because I'm used to having my father. But when a man does not, when a young man grows up and don't have that male balance, he tends to do certain things a certain way. And one of the things is that void creates perceptions of himself in his mind and in his head of what he thinks he look like versus who he really is. And let me explain that. When a son is born and his mom takes care of him, she loves him, and he keeps growing up, and that mom's influence. Normally, from my own experience of watching, most men react and deal with things the way a woman do. Now, let me say, I'm not talking about being feminine. That's not what I'm talking about. It's the ideas, his emotions. He just, however a woman will react to something, that's normally how I've seen over the years a young man that didn't have the balance and having to deal with an alpha male. And so what this do, it would create, like what, and mothers can testify if you want to, you know this is true. When a male gets a certain age, like when he starts between 13 and 16, he starts what women would consider rebellion. They start rebellion. They don't want, the kisses and hug no more. They start acting out a little bit. But actually, it's a normal progression. See, the world would say the world is acting out, but a real man that understands a boy coming up to manhood would understand that he's just trying to stretch his wing. He's trying to, on a micro level, between 13 and 16, trying to establish and find out where does he fit at in the world. He's looking for his identity. But in him doing that, is ideologies that he had growing up with his mom that's not acceptable for him because the world is saying something different, or he sees something in the world. So what this does is create voids, and because the voids are created, we take the voids or them acting out and say, well, these are young men that are acting up or they bad and stuff, when reality is they're just trying to find their identity in the world as a young man. And every man that's listened to this program and will understands exactly what I'm talking about. That man, that young boy, wants to find his identity and his purpose in the world. And for us, it starts young because we're competing. We're competing for the best women. We're competing to make the most money. We're competing to be a powerhouse in a world that it's a dog fight. So when a man is in a fight that he don't understand, he will, what the world would say, he is rebelling, but really what he's trying to do is establish himself. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to admonish you to understand what I'm telling you today. When you see 13 and 16-year-olds, sometimes whether they in gangs or whether they acting out or whether they getting in trouble, a lot of that is not that they're bad men at all. Is that they're trying to find a position in the world. You ask most young guys why they get in gang, most 9 out of 10 answers because I felt like it was a family. And the same things, ladies, a lot of time the man is searching for, that you're searching for, excuse me, he's searching for the same thing. We just have different ways of going about it. I'm talking about the heart of a man today. For those of you that just tuning in, I'm talking about a heart of a man, the inside, the emotions, the void, the healings that the man needs. And for those of you ladies that have adult men in your life, that have been in your life, that are in your life now, will come in your life, a lot of them never got their real life experiences dealt with. You know, they never got that void. They never got that healing. So it's certain things they're trying to work out. And let me tell you something. Most men, no matter how extreme it is, or how many mistakes they made, they still on a level always trying to work it out and figure it out. I'm going to say that again. Most men, whether they boys growing up between the 13 and 16 and becoming a young man, or they adult men, they are always on some level trying to figure it out. I know some of you will look and say, that dude ain't trying to figure out nothing. But he trying to figure it out. And it's hard to figure it out when you don't have a role model, you don't have a mentor, you don't have a big brother that got some sense, or you don't have a dad, or you don't have something. It was a lot easier for me to figure out things I wanted to figure out on my own because my dad gave me a platform. He gave me an infrastructure. He gave me a foundation to stand on for I can at least look at and say, oh, that's what a man does. I'm going to tell you this and then I'm going to move on to the next one. I remember my father told me to change my first flat tire. I think I was 16 years old. He said, in the car had a flat tire. He just simply said, son, go out there and change that tire. I had never changed a tire. I said, Dad, I don't know how to change no tire. He said, yes, you do. You've been watching me all these years. You can do it. You know how to change that tire. And you know what? I did. Because he was right. I've been watching him all that time, and I did know how to tire. Now, whether I wanted to do it or not, you know, that's a different question. But I did it. If my daddy said, I got to go change the tire. But what I'm trying to say in that example is, men really want to be right with themselves. They really are. Some of them is hard. Some of them too prideful. Some of them too hurt. But they still all where they want to be right. Now, ladies, I'm not telling you that to give you even more permission to go out there and try to fix them. What I'm sharing with you today is so you will understand them. Because really one of the main problems between men and women, they really don't understand each other. And they don't understand each other because I can't see you. And you can't see me for who I really am. Because if you can see somebody, you can understand them. You guys can communicate. You can communicate. You can walk this life out together and make it work. And so I want to talk about this. I want to talk about relationships. And so all the stuff I've been talking about so far, and welcome Facebook fans that are joining in and appreciate you. We're talking about the heart of a man first before we get to dating and relationship misconception. I'm talking about the heart of a man right now. And in relationships, when a man comes up and a lot of these things don't get handled on the micro level, the kid level, the teenage level, normally he bring it into his adulthood. And then another set of responsibility comes because now that I'm an adult, I'm a man, I'm supposed to take care of my business. I'm supposed to take care of myself, take care of my family. And how I am judged in society is based on what my car look like, what my money look like, what my clothing look like, and what my home look like. Those four. You remember I said the 4 C's, your crib, your cash, your clothes, and your car. That's a real deal to men. Because men feel like if they're not working on 1 out of the 4, 2 out of the 4, 3 out of the 4, or 4 out of the 4, and they're not being successful in these areas, then they're not being successful in society. How can I take care of a woman or a family and I can't take care of myself? How can I be an entrepreneur and buy real estate if I can't take care of myself and my family? How can I buy a car if I don't make enough money to have a job? How can I succeed above the minimum wage level to be a millionaire or a billionaire if I don't understand principles and foundations of life in itself before I even get to talking about business? So every relationship is affected when a man is going through his healings, his hurt, and his emotions in the void, all trying to fix himself. His relation, his job, relationship with his kids, relationship with you, relationship with his parent, relationship with his cousin, relationship with friend, relationship with networking, relationship. It affects everything in relationships when he is hurting, when he has a void, when he can't talk, or when he have pride. But I will reaffirm this again, lady. Even when you look at a man, it's just like, ladies, for men, like, now let me say this about the man, I'm going to come back to the lady. No matter what stage a man is, no matter whether he's hurting, all the things I just said, he is still always trying to work on himself. Whether he tells you or not, he trying to be better. And a lot of how motivated he going to be, and I'm talking about you that's in a relationship with a man, or especially you married folks, how much you know how to encourage him, how you know how to affirm and acknowledge him and appreciate him. He's going to move that much quicker and do more things to get in position where he not only feels good about himself, but you feel good about him, and he's taking care of his family and all that good stuff from starting a business, whatever he wants to do, and then some. Ladies, it's just like you. Men, when ladies are in the love zone, even when you can't see it on, they're always in that love zone, always. Even when you can't see them and it don't look like they're always in that love circle. Man, I don't know if you knew that, but I know a bunch of ladies out there testifying now and smiling. Go on and hit your man on the shoulder and say, he telling the truth. They're always in that love zone. So the relationship. So let me talk about this. I got a couple of them. We coming down before we go to commercial. Men always want to win. Men want to win. I'm gonna retell you this, lady. Men want to win in life. They want the best women. And we talked about before how when you go to a place and it's like a gathering, you got couples there or whatever, every man in the room looks at who got the best woman. It's just a secret society of things. We have men. We didn't have no worldwide meeting on it. We didn't talk about it on social media. We didn't call up our neighbors or our male relatives. We just all know whoever got the best woman in the room is the winner. We want to win. We want to win with our women. We want to win with money. We want to have the best house. We want to be the best man. We want to be called the best husband, the best provider, the best lover. We want it all. That's how men are built. And the ones that don't seem to be doing that, or men you would consider bums or jugheads, or why he on the street or why he homeless, it's not that they still don't want it either. I'm telling you, all men want it. But some men have been broken to the point that he can't come back unless he makes it up in his mind on his own that he's going to do it, and you can't do anything about it. You can't even motivate him out of that. When a man is broken to the ground where he feel like he has nothing to live for, that he is in a place where it's between now him and God. And there's nothing his family can do, there's nothing his woman can, there's no word that you can give him. You just basically really have to just pray for him. Those are men that you see out in the street, whether some men are on drugs, some are homeless, some have run away, some have abandoned their kids. Those are men that are broken, and their brokenness is so deep that they do irrational stuff like that. You know, you ever see these men and you look at them and say, like, how could he do that? How do he don't look at his kids, or how come he don't do that? It's because somewhere he has been tremendously broken. Now, I'm not alleviating him from the responsibility. What I'm telling you, when you have abnormal behavior out of a man, and it's extreme stuff, somewhere he's been extremely broken. And that brokenness could have came from the relationship of his parents. It could have came from a woman or an ex-wife that did him in. It could have came to somebody that said something so negative to him that it broke him in half. Men get broken in half. And when they get broken in half, they do irrational things. Some of the men that have actually ran away from their kids had nothing to do with the kids. It was the fact that he was so broken, he didn't know how to handle the situation. Now, I know it's bad, but today, I'm not trying to give you excuses. I'm trying to help you understand the heart of a man. And even in that, when a man runs away, he's trying to figure some things out. He just left some destruction behind. And sometimes they never figured it out. Sometimes men are hurt for life. Whether you have a man that takes his life, a man that loses something, loses a job, loses home, loses family, somewhere he was broken so bad that he just couldn't come back. But ladies, I'm encouraging you today, know the man that you with. Give him an atmosphere where he want to open up to you, where he can cry in front of you, where he can let loose. And I'm telling you, whatever woman allows him to be. See, that's why you have, mama's boys a lot. especially when they didn't have a balance of a man, because they go cry to their mama, and their mama loved them and received them no matter what, because that's her child. But I'm saying this in a relationship context. I'm not saying it, mother, because you can't be his mama. Don't be his mama. You don't want to be his mama because you're not his mama. Be his woman. Be his wife. And allow him in strength, not as a boy crying to his mama, but a man coming to his wife. And actually, that man coming to that wife should exceed that boy coming to his mama. The man coming to his wife should exceed that boy coming to his mama so he can heal. So all men want to win. Even the worst of the worst. They couldn't fix, some of them just couldn't figure out how to. But they all want it. Every man on the planet wants to win. Don't be fooled. I know Jughead did you wrong. He left you with some kids. He stole your money, busted your car, burned your house down. But Jughead wanted to win. He just couldn't figure out how to do it. Because he didn't have the tools. Or he didn't know how to go get the info or the tools to help build. But he still wanted to win. And last but not least, before we go to commercial, the whole time I've been talking in this segment about the heart of a man, guess who I've been talking to? The woman. Not a woman to a man, the woman to a man. I've been talking to ladies, to you, the woman of his dreams, the one that makes his heart pump, the one he lives for, the one he'll build that house from scratch from his bare hand. I'm talking about you today. That's who I'm talking to, you. The ones that makes the difference in his life, of that man that went through hurt, emotions, healings, void. He wanted to be happy. I'm talking to you. You're a big part of that. And he knows that. So give him the opportunity to be healed in his emotions, in his heart, in his mind, in his soul, in his spirit. Give him the opportunity. Well, oh man, Mr. D, we were just talking about the heart of a man today. And ladies, I hope you share some. This whole show going to be back up on iTunes. Matter of fact, I'm going to play this all back because we're on Facebook Live. For those of you that's tuning in Facebook, Dr. Sam Show and Sam Millette 3. But we about to take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, I'm going to have in the house the money coach, Ms. Rhonda. She going to get you your money, Cobb. And then Rhonda, I, and Delanita, Nene Ash be talking about dating and the misconceptions of relationship. And then at the 12:45 hour, Delanita will be telling you how to get your beauty and your wellness right. Because I know a lot of you messed up. This is the Dr. Sam Show, and we'll be right back. Woo!
You said some really good stuff over
Woo!
there. I didn't want to get in my car to stop listening.
You had to run in.
Yeah.
HD2 Sylvania. We are Talk Radio
It's deep.
100.7.
How's that, Mr. You say it's good, it's good, it's good. I believe in you and God. Miss Rhonda, can you stay a little bit today?
Okay.
I got a surprise for you. What I'm going to do,
Ooh.
Facebook Live is on too, by the way.
I like
No, not a
surprises.
surprise. Why? Because I texted you, but I'll just tell you.
Okay. I'm
You're going to do your segment. The second half of the show is dating and misconceptions of relationship. And I want you to stay for that, both of them. And then we'll stop and let her do her segment at 12:45.
Okay.
So
Okay.
So you're with me, Rhonda.
we're gonna already got it set up where they can see both of y'all. So do your segment. I'm gonna take a quick commercial, then y'all get see us together, and then we're gonna go into the
They both gonna use my
I feel like I was spreading like
No.
I got
Is
the
that on?
most of the day.
Yeah, let's work.
You never
I know.
fail. You know,
That-
you're running late.
Okay, which one of y'all the loudest when you talk?
Of Pennsylvania.
I don't know.
That probably
Because
was
in
the
this
answer.
mic, I need to have the loud, because you gotta talk directly in that, because some reason the softness is killing. You just have to talk louder now. That one's fine. This one you have to talk a little louder. That's why I'm
Which,
asking.
I don't know.
I'll take
Which one
because
you
I
think,
can
Sam?
really project in my
They both kind of soft.
Okay.
Well, yeah, you know, Mr. D said it don't
I'll
matter,
take
because
this
both of y'all
one.
kind
I'll
of
take
soft.
this one because I don't mind to be thinking about it when I'm talking.
Yeah.
Oh, let me do
So
something.
the Cruise
Facebook Live, I appreciate you. We taking a quick, we got national break going on, and then we're gonna be on. I hope you guys enjoyed that Heart of a Man. You know, I wanted to let,
You know.
excuse me.
Sorry.
I wanted people to know the hearts of a man today, and ladies, I want to give you some understanding where you're not looking to judge or you're not looking to point fingers, but I want you to understand. My purpose was to get you to understand how a man feels and thinks, and his emotion and his healing, his hurt and his voice today. And I think that's very important. A lot of times, I think men and women really don't understand that side of each other. And especially men don't normally share unless they feel extremely comfortable. So I was helping you today to get your man to be relaxed enough, strong enough to trust you enough where he can open up and you don't see him no different. Because like I said at the opening, the reason a lot of men don't open up emotionally to their woman because they fear the backlash of not being looked at as the same. And so that's why. So whatever woman makes him that comfortable, he's going to open up. And ladies, I'll leave you with this while we on break. And the men too, they know they can say amen through the text if they want to. The more a man can open up to the woman, not a woman, the more he can talk about his hurt or his pains or his voids or how he sees life. That's actually helping him heal. So he can be the greatest man or husband or whatever to you and put him in a position to win. Because all of that stuff I talked about, that's really every man. Whether you think he a bum or not, he still want to win in life. So I wanted to share that with you. And again, we on a national break. Right now, we'll be back on the air in a minute with Miss Rhonda Cobb. She's waving at you right now. That's her right there. And so we're going to be talking about dating and misconceptions in relationship. And I'm looking I'm looking forward to talking about some of their dating experience so I can correct them. So we'll be right back. I love you. Stay tuned. Call Aunt Martha and tell her to get on Facebook Live.
So, wow, I did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's crazy.
Beige carpet. No. No, if I was married, I would have brought him to the wedding.
That makes sense,
Yeah. Still showing up on my mother's set. Yeah. No. I was dating a guy for a while, but he made other choices.
Mm.
And the way it goes. God, I thought I was going to relate.
Did you? So,
It never fails.
I
You
thought,
get behind
I
these
thought a bright
beige
colored car
cars.
would do that.
You get behind these beige cars and they're driven by older people wearing those wraparound sunglasses, which means that they have that macular degeneration, so they really probably don't have good enough vision to be driving. And the second they realize somebody's behind them, they slow down.
Yeah.
But they won't let you go around them.
Panic.
If you go around them, then they go over, so they're in the lane that you can go around.
Yeah.
There's no safe way around them. And the more you try to hurry them along, the less fast they go because it frightens them.
Put both of them titles in that text because it's so
Lord,
long.
I'm good on BD.
So, yeah. And that's one thing I learned about speaking, boy. You be focused and the passion, energy there, they're gonna drain you afterwards. That's why I used to be. Sometimes in places I spoke at, the last one, people, and I had to get myself mentally ready. People want to talk to you after you said stuff that hit their life. And I'll just be I'll be looking for the quickest route to duck. I just put it all out.
Yeah.
You give
I
a
know
piece
that-
of yourself when
You have to train yourself to have that half hour afterwards where you continue to have enough energy to
You
get
have that stamina and stay focused. And probably you need to limit it. You need
Yeah,
to
you
limit
need
it
to-
maybe
you need to, like,
15
say-
minutes. This dude came up to me the last place I spoke. He said, man, you know, I'm trying to spend more time with my wife, be romantic or whatever. And, you know, I can't. We got a new baby and the baby 1 year old or 6 months old, something. He said, I looked at him. I said, man, how old are you? I think he said 32. I said, the baby is your trump card. Use the baby to create stuff on the side for you and your wife. Because if your life is around the baby, that means you got to get creative. I said, you should thank the baby. Go in there and get creative. Thank you, baby. Because it's going to make you more creative to spend more time with your wife. Man, he busted out laughing because that just never occurred to him. I'm like, man, this is baby. If I got a kid, and we're on a timer, he's like, baby, the kid is going to cry, okay, Let's sit down, let's relax, let's kiss, let's hug, let's cuddle, let's sit there, whatever we gonna do, because we know we got 20 minutes because the baby gonna start crying. I said, man, when that baby is your motivator. And I didn't even charge you.
There you go.
I ain't even charge you.
See,
Got
there
it,
you
30
go.
seconds.
You thought he was in dire straits. Brother, what you talking about, man?
Right.
The baby already did the work for you.
He's just feeling
Oh,
jealous
that's-
because the baby takes a lot of time and he didn't get his time that day.
And I said, the
That's
baby,
the hardest part.
I told him the baby making you have to step your game up.
Yeah.
Thank the baby.
And her too, though.
Hmm?
The baby makes everybody have to step their
Exactly.
game up.
And you have to use that to your advantage. That's exactly what I told him. I'm using Mr. D to my advantage. Mr. D don't want to go around no swimming pool, but that's another story. Mr. D.
You don't want to go now.
Sweet LD.
I missed the festivities last week, man. For ceremony.
Because of the water?
No, because I had to work. He just saying that. I had to work here all day.
Because I was telling him about the swimming pool at the resort. See, you gonna hang out there. You ain't gonna want to do no festivities.
Oh no,
I ain't going at the pool.
I wanted to be at the resort.
Yeah, you'd have been at the resort,
That
but
was
once you
some
stopped down that
resort, too,
pool,
let me tell you,
you
it was
the resort
gorgeous.
was
Oh,
the
it's
second.
so gorgeous.
Oh, my
And they was
God.
calling you Mr. D.
It was
Hefner.
so funny.
Daniel Hefner. Hugh Hefner's third
I
nephew
wanna
on his
leave.
mama's side.
This is fun.
All right, I'm
So
ready.
pretty.
Yep. And we're back. Man, we having a great show. This is your friend Dr. Sam. You're listening to the Dr. Sam Show, where I'm your host, your confidant, and your best friend in the whole wide world in the U.S. of A. Man, I'm telling that first hour was something else. I was talking about a heart of a man. We are also Facebook Live talking about all this stuff. And for those of you that are tuning in or cruising in your car, cut that radio on and cut the radio on the Facebook Live and check us out. You can see the wonderful faces that are here and the conversation that is being had. At the first part, like I said, I was talking about the heart of a man, and I hope that helped a lot of women and men about the heart and the inner workings of a man. And let me tell you something, ladies, I didn't tell you to go fix him. What I'm trying to tell you, I wanted you to understand him. Because the more you understand your man, the less you will try to fix him, knowing that he will work it out and you be more of a support system and not a fixer or a mechanic, because a lot of men really don't need that. Most of the time it don't ever work. And so I want to encourage you today to try to understand your man. That's why I did that. Well, I got in the house the fantastic, the incomparable, the wonderful, the extraordinary, the woman of all women, the first lady of finance, Ms. Rhonda, the money coach. She gonna help you get your money. Cobb is in the building to share money things with you today. And Rhonda, I know because of that intro, I'm gonna have to give Nene one too. Like, I know she
You know it.
but I got a bunch of intros, so I got
Okay.
that. So
Good.
Rhonda, how are you today?
I'm fabulous. Now I'm going to try to live up to that intro. Thank you. It's bad. Bad. All right, so today, we're going to talk about something really weird. We're going to talk about eggs. And you're thinking eggs. Go to the grocery store and get eggs. And I'm talking about eggs, like nest eggs. And, so what I want to talk about is a really old-fashioned saying. Don't have all your eggs in one basket. Everybody in money is talking about the fact that the market is ready to take a cyclical downturn. And the market is just like a bicycle. Sometimes the pedals are up and sometimes the pedals are down. But it doesn't go if you don't do both. The market has been ready for quite some time to come down. So if you have all your eggs in one basket, which is the market, you need to start thinking about moving some of your eggs to a different basket. So let's talk about some different baskets. The market, risky and about ready to take a little downturn. You don't want to leave money in there that you're going to need in the next 10 years. So if your IRA is in there and you're over the age of 50, it's time to move it to somewhere more conservative. Then there is real estate. Real estate's a nice place for a long-term investment, but your rate of return is not going to be as huge. And of course, you understand there's maintenance, upkeep, and taxes. And then there's precious and collectibles. Again, long term, and you need to really know what you're doing when you invest. And then there's extraordinarily high risk, which would be your futures and your options and your hedge funds. Those you need an absolute expert to help you with. That's not me. I don't do that kind of work. But if you're going to get into that, don't put any money into that you cannot afford to lose every single penny that you've got put in. And then you've got the non-market, more conservative places to put your money. And those are some of the places where you need to be looking, at the moment. So if you've got money in the riskier market, you need to start getting together with your financial advisor or your money coach and say, talk to me about putting my eggs in some other baskets. I need to be a little bit more balanced for the next couple of years. I cannot afford to lose money in the market when it takes its cyclical downturn. If your money is with a broker who says, don't worry, you're in a balanced fund, that balanced fund is still in the market. You read your paperwork, you look at the fine print, really, really, really fine print, and you find out where your money is. Because when they say a balanced fund, that just means they move it around at their discretion. Every time they move it, it charges you a fee. You may not be making the kind of return you think you're making, and you're still at the risk of the market. So, I'm Rhonda Cobb, the money coach, and if you leave all your eggs in one basket, your road to abundance is going to be a lot longer. So take a good look at it this week and see what you've got going on with your money. Make the most out of your money. And you know what I'm going to say before you say it. Be grateful, and you will attract good things. Thanks. Talk to you soon.
Thank you, Rhonda. As always, that was a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful money piece. And what we about to do, we about to take a quick commercial break. When I come back, I got Rhonda Cobb that is staying over in the house, Miss Nene, or Delanita, Nene Ash, as he like her personal friends to call her. They're in the house, and we're talking about dating and misconceptions in relationships. And this is Dr. Sam, and we'll be right back. You could cut up a little. I just had to do that because she sounded soft.
Right.
Cleaning up the garage? Why not also set aside time to put your financial house in order and become more financially responsible?
Rhonda, you gonna stand up?
Organize your finances.
No, I'm going to grab
There's a chair over there.
chair work?
Right. While you're taking the time to analyze your financial situation,
I need to do a show sitting down once I can see what it feels like. I've been standing so long, it'd be uncomfortable. If when I start doing 3-hour shows and what I do, I don't know if I'm gonna stand for 3 hours.
Right.
I'm used to standing. I feel more free than sitting down.
Right.
You need one of those little stools like pharmacists use where it's just a little bit of a rest,
Oh yeah?
And then you can stand up and you can move around a little bit. Yeah.
today at 1-800-388-2227 nfcc.org. A public service message from the NFCC.
And when I do a
I'm
trade
gonna have,
show, I have
if y'all got like
people
10 minutes after the show, I wanna have a meeting right quick too.
Okay.
10 minutes. I ain't gonna keep you long. I gotta go have a meeting about this television show. I should have you on there, Mr. D, as my player, they say, young players.
I do.
the 10 people will
Young
see his
players.
face and
This is
they'll
Mr.
be
D.
saying, we have to do our bachelor thing.
Back up a little bit, Ron. Just I want to see something. Because I remember this thing worked for the mayor when I moved a little. Yeah, like right there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's about as short as me.
That's the last time I think that worked.
Yep. It is. It is. I looked at it on the thing the other day. I'm ready. And we're back. This is your friend Dr. Sam, and welcome back to the Dr. Sam Show. We are having a great show. I'm having a lot of fun today. You can tell by the energy that I have. If you're feeling it, I'm loving it. That's what I'm saying today. I have in the house with me Miss Rhonda Money Coach Cobb, Delanita Nene Ash on finance, beauty and wellness. And last but not least, Hugh Hefner's third nephew on his mama's side, our engineer, producer extraordinaire. Ladies, you know him as Mr. D. But he not hanging around those swimming pools for a couple weeks. I'm telling you, I'm going to tell you about that maybe next week, why he ain't around the pool. We are also live on Facebook, and we're talking about now dating and relationship misconceptions. As for those of you that have been listening the whole time in the first part of the show, I did The Heart of a Man. But I think I'm going to do on social media, split that up into 2 shows, man. It was so good that I might split them up and have them together like this whole thing we're taping now, and then just split them up in each segment so you can enjoy it. But I'm about to switch gears. We're going to talk about a little dating. I tell you, people like to date. I don't know if they know what they're doing, but they like to date. And then we're going to talk about misconception in relationship. The number is 866-720-1470. And for those of you that are more discreet, you can call my line at 419-972-1SAM. And you can text me or comment on that, and we'll answer the question. If I don't answer it today, I'll text you an answer. We'll answer on the radio, but I'll text you back. That's for those of you that want to ask questions incognito. So, all right, ladies, are you ready?
We're ready.
All minds are clear, hearts are good. My first thing in talking about dating, and I want to, and all family, I just want you to know, I didn't prep them for this at all. I didn't want to prep them for this. I need an organic reaction, or when Mr. D start laughing at it, I don't know what's going on. First of all, and either one of you can start. What is your definition of dating? What is dating for you?
Well, I think dating is just getting to know someone that you're interested in, to see what level, what step you want to take it onto the next step. Is someone that that you may be interested in, someone that you like. You know, you want to see. I think dating from courting is a little bit more different. Like courting is a whole nother level of a next step.
We're gonna talk about. I'm gonna mention what those 2 differences are.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit more different. I think dating is getting to know someone to see, you know, if you want to take it to the next step.
Miss Cobb.
I think so too. I think that when you're dating, that signifies just the beginning. You know, are we, you know, get to know each other? Are we that into each other? Do we have anything in common? Can we build from there? Do we really truly want to move forward or not? And it's just the initial period of, hey, you know, there was something about you that attracted me, your smile, your looks, your personality, and I want to see if that's real, if that's what, you know, what more lies within. And you can't do that if you don't spend a little bit of time together doing things that each of you enjoy, and letting yourself be seen and known.
Now, while we're having this conversation, I want you guys to pay attention to your answers as ladies and my answers as a man. The difference is saying, how men think of dating is simply this. If we ask you out for a date, that's because we was attracted to you on some type of level. Our goal is to find out, do we want to go on a second date once we enter the first date? And that's as far as we go. We ain't thinking about marrying you. We're not thinking about getting. We want to know, is there enough that I'm finding out on the first date, or enough fun that I'm having where I can stand your company, so I can decide whether I want to ask you on the second date. That's as far as we go on the first date. We don't think past that.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
now you see how y'all want to get to know them.
Right. Yeah.
We want to float in the butterflies in the trees. I want to find out if he got a good mama. We don't care nothing about that. We just evaluating the situation. Am I enjoying myself? Is she what I think she is? Do I like her? So I can get to the second date. That's as far as men go. I'll go ahead. What did you want to say, Miss Ash?
No, I was just saying, yeah, I think that's what dating is, just as for women too. But, yeah, it's just to see how far or what will be the next step. I mean, then we could take it more further. I don't think that we would daydream. I mean, that's, you know, middle-aged women. I don't think we would daydream and be like, oh, I got to get to know.
They daydream. Yes, they do.
Do they?
I don't think
on a
so.
first date?
I don't think so on the first
No,
date.
they just daydream, period. I'm not talking about necessarily
We do.
first date.
Well, everybody
Yes,
does.
So
we do.
your
We do
daydreaming
We do,
encompasses
the
since
fantasy.
birth up to the day you die. It ain't no age on your daydreaming. That's men. And notice in the dating process, I didn't mention sex. I'm not gonna mention that.
Right.
I'm gonna push that to the side for now, and just push that to the side because that's part of the man's cycle. But basically, men trying to decide: do I want to ask her for the second date? If that answer is a no, we ain't no further for us. We done.
Right.
If it's a yes, then I'm gonna take you on a date in a different spot. Depends on what my agenda is. One of the worst places. I always tell people never take somebody on a first date is to a movie because you can't find out nothing about them. Because you sitting in a dark room for 2 and 3 hours, both of y'all thinking about each other. I want to see like this. I want to see like that. Instead of thinking about it, you can be talking about it instead of paying to watch people that's making way more money than you when you need to go get your stuff together and find out if y'all gonna click or not.
Well,
that's my summary.
I gotta say,
dating
dating is nice, but it's kind of getting like faded away now. I'm serious. It's not much men out there that's interested in dating anymore.
What are they interested in?
Was out there is they're interested in hookups.
Explain what the types of hookups.
It's a lot of easy and convenient. What is it? Technology. Internet inbox.
So when you say hookup, you mean
dating,
hookup?
What is the dating sites? All of that is available now, and it's like it's not the same, Sam. Like when I was in my 20s, dating was really dating. Like you get to know someone, and then you take it farther if you want to take it farther, take it to the next step. But now it's like, I'm back to being single. I wasn't ready to date, and I'm back on the market, and I'm like, it's not the same anymore. It's a different approach that women have to consider to take. And
what's that approach?
Because
what's the approach?
The approach is that you have to be able to be knowledgeable of what's out there on how to date. As far as social network is out there now, they didn't have that back then. The online dating is out there now. People want a video chat now, and when I started out dating, I made some very foolish choices, on that, because
most people do.
You do, because you don't know that it's certain things that you should not say or do, or you shouldn't even accept to have a video chat with certain people because they have wrong intentions.
Let me ask both of you this question. I'm going to back up a little bit. I'm going to talk about the traditional, and then I'm going to tell you why I'm saying it. Do you believe it is still the man's job to pursue the woman?
I would like it to be the man's job.
No, do you believe it's the man's job? Not what you would like. Do you believe that's his job? There's no right or wrong. I'm asking it for a reason.
Do I really believe that?
Do you believe the man should pursue women, the woman?
Yes.
Okay, Miss Cobb.
No.
No.
I think that it should be equal
I'm
opportunity. It's preferable, and I think if you really got to the heart of the man, you would find that most men prefer to be the one in pursuit. But for a lot of men, they're too shy, they're too hesitant, and there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, you want to grab a cup of coffee? Now, if you go into, I am going to track you down and follow you everywhere mode. That's not dating. That's crazy. But if you're just talking about, hey, I just met you, I ran into you somewhere, and it'd be kind of fun to grab a cup of coffee. Great. Go ahead and ask. You want to have a cup of coffee. But if he clearly hesitates, you're done. It's done right there.
But you would prefer the man to pursue you.
Yes, I would
versus
prefer
you
them
pursuing
to ask.
the man.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't want to make them uncomfortable by thinking that, oh my God, she's one of those extraordinarily assertive women.
One of the reasons I asked that is that I want to prove a point to you. It's a point I've always said. I don't think the problem is, like, say you got technology, video chat, like you said. I think it's all the same thing. It's just done in a different way. But the bottom line is, no matter how a man comes to a woman today and vice versa, but I'm saying from how a man comes to a woman, the woman has to know how to decipher who's who. And that's still the problem. Whether it's video chat, whether it's in person, text, phone, or sitting by the pool with Mr. D, most women don't know how to decipher men because they don't understand how men work. Part of, like I was sharing earlier, just the inner workings of a man that's hurt and you don't want to win. But if you knew that, that would alleviate a lot of the other problems. No matter how he came to you, you would know what's right for you and what's not. He can come off a plane, he could fly, he can come talk about money, he can come get his face rubbed. No matter what he did or how he came to you, you would be able to say nope, yes, nope, yes, nope, yes, or maybe, really. You would know that if you know the criteria or what not only of yourself, but particularly the man. But man, I think that's where a lot of us men and women get it wrong. We don't know how to evaluate or assess who we dealing with and talking to on a date. Because if back in the day when I first started becoming the Dr. Sam, by the way, I could decipher a woman in less than 3 minutes. And if she say something, in the first 10 words, she gonna tell me everything I need to know. That's why, man, we working to see if we going to the second date. If you screw the first part of the first date out, it ain't gonna be no second date. And if you really get a sleazy guy, he'll go to the bathroom and you gonna be holding that check because he left.
And that's special. And you know that does happen.
Yeah, that does happen. That's why I said that.
It happens.
So let me ask you this question in saying that. Women are still in control.
Right.
What is it that women are not learning about men? Why don't they know about men and making good choices with men? Because ultimately, you still, and we done said it a billion times on this show, you in control. I can't do nothing unless you say yes. And we're not talking about Jughead, Boomer, and Mr. D's former assistant. We're not talking about them. We talking about men that that are honestly interested in you. How does a woman learn a man or not learn a man when she has all the power? It's like going to a job and asking your boss. Your boss said, "Okay, what's my next assignment?" He said, "I don't know. What would you like to do?" That's what that's like.
Right. Yeah.
Because you're dictating what's going to happen or not. The man's job is to make the presentation if he's interested in you. But when a woman goes on a date with a man, just like a man, that's how a woman should be assessing the man. And it should be based off of what she wants and what she's looking for and what did they have that is something she didn't know she wanted or needed until she seen it somewhere in that first date. And more importantly, just to have fun.
Yeah.
But your assessment got to be in the fun too. Oh yeah, we having fun. We doing the two-step, but I'm like, man, she got bumps on her feet. Wait a minute. Was she that lady in that paper that put them people that's robbing and stealing? Whatever, was that her there? You have to do that. So I'm gonna go back to that question. Why aren't women learning about men?
I think we have the tendency of convincing ourselves the way we think and feel that that's how men is going to think and feel. And then
Meaning,
just
why are you doing that?
what?
Why?
Why?
If that's not the answer, and I'm just using
I'm
your
about
name,
to-
but
I'm
that's a
about-
lot of yeah.
Right, I'm like, what?
Why do women keep sticking to something that don't work?
I'm gonna tell you why.
All right,
Because
hold on.
I
Listen,
had
y'all
to
family listening to
really
this.
get this. I had to really I'm 43.
Cut her up.
And I am learning a lot about myself, and not only myself, I'm learning a lot and understand about men because I am talking and engaging men and understanding their thoughts and what they, what they think and what they're interested in. I've said many times before, a lot of women have not had had relationships, have been brought up with their fathers or with men. Period. From generation to from having from a mom, a grandma, auntie, sister. That is it. So, from my perspective, for me, I was so blinded where that is why I had to really look at myself like, why am I keep getting the same man, dump one man, and then here I am picking a new man, but different issues, but the same, things in common, and I fall and get hurt again. But I had to learn and really understand, getting to know you, Sam. You have helped me you have a lot of insight. You really have. And talking to my brothers and stuff, but we just wasn't being brought up the way have we been brought up, the way what we see, with our moms, our grandmothers, our aunties. We look and learn from other women instead of really learning from that male figure that we lack of really having. I think that has the sole issue right there. That's one of the main issues.
All right, let me ask you this question. This is both of you again.
Right.
Do you think also part of that is when ladies are born into the world, the fantasy is created early? And no matter what, they're trying to get to that family, that kid, and that house. I don't know about the 2.5 children. I'm still trying to figure out how do you make half a baby. Yeah. I know R. Kelly sung on it years ago. Come half on the baby. Yeah, she pregnant. That's a half?
Yeah.
See, I can see Mr. D. I didn't know that. I've been trying to figure out I do something R. Kelly was talking about. I didn't know what he was talking about. That's it. 2 children and 1 on the way.
Yeah.
Did you know that, Miss Kyle?
No, I was with you. I never figured out where the half of the kid came from.
You heard it first on the Dr. Sam show. I did not know that. I've been trying to figure out what they mean by 2.5 kids.
Right.
I'm too anal for that. I took it literally too. I'm like, what? Where's the half the kid coming from?
Does that dream in women what's the word I want to use? Is over and above, bigger than anything else. Even if she got to go through a couple of guys, 3 or 4 or 5 that are bad, is that dream driving that?
Yes.
It's not the dream. It's exactly what we talked about last night on the TV show, which was between the ages of birth and say 6 or 7, children learn all their mores. And if children, being girl children, learn everything only from women, and you're taught, and I know from having 3 brothers and 1 mom and 1 dad, that my upbringing was different. Girls don't do that. Girls, you need to be nicer. You need to give the benefit of the doubt. Why aren't you nice? Why don't you give the benefit of the doubt? And when you hear that for your entire upbringing, that becomes part of your value set. So it's not a dream.
So now who is telling you that?
Are. My mother.
Your mother.
My mother.
I was going to get to that because women tell women that.
Right.
Yeah.
And
listen,
when, when I got to be just old enough to what is referred to not even lovingly as talk back, I would say, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be that way. I want to be this way. And finally one day when I was about 7 and a half, my dad took me aside and he said, you don't have to be that.
Exactly.
You can be this. Wow. Was that just eye-opening? And it was really about 1 minute worth of time and 1 sentence from Dad.
Who's a man.
Exactly. and then, I had brothers, and all the kids in the neighborhood except for 1 other kid were guys. And then, of course, I went to a military academy, so I'm pretty comfortable being surrounded by men. I've often joked, please don't invite me to a Tupperware party because I'm likely to break out in hives and not know how to behave. Because I'm so used to the company of the guys. So it's a little bit different if you grew up entirely surrounded in a group, a familial and extended family group of women, or you grew up in a big group of guys. And it's totally different for women. And I can tell you, I've been on dates, first dates, second dates, where the guy will look across the table at me and say, "You're just not a normal woman." And they'll get up and walk out because they can't handle the fact that I'm totally comfortable knowing that they're a guy and I'm not. And instead of being him versus her, I'm like, great, let's all accept each other the way we are. You've got your attributes, I've got mine. We bring all that to the table. Fine with me, because that's just the way it is. Like, you know, my three brothers are all different as different can be. Well, two of them are twins, they're kind of alike, but they still have differences too. They're not identical. Yeah. And, you know, but they're all different, and you see what they do and what they don't do, or what they like and what they don't like, and that's okay, because that just is.
Well, let me ask you ladies this, and I'm just transitioning a little bit out of dating and talk about relationship. What is the biggest, the biggest, think about some seafood bis.
Yeah, guys.
What is the best?
Oh my goodness.
I'm thinking about that seafood bis. After the show, I'm going to get me some bis. What is the, in you ladies' opinion, what is the biggest misconception about relationships to you? What's one thing that you say, no, I thought it was that, or they said it was that, but that really wasn't what it was. It was not that. What is that?
Let's see, what was mine?
I think the biggest misconception that I run into is that, you know, men think that all women are the same. And all women are not the same, just the same way that all men are not the same. There are differences. And when we learn to respect each other for our individual strengths and weaknesses and accept the entire package, it'll all be a little bit better. But my biggest thing is you know, at my age, I'm a little bit older than Nene. Dating is so difficult because so many of the guys that are my age and older, they're not really looking for the fun or the companionship. They're looking for 3 hots and a flop, a nurse and a purse, and somebody to ride in the hearse when they pass. I'm like, thanks.
Security.
No thanks. They're looking for mommy, you know? I'm like, I'm not your mommy. I don't want to be your mommy. You had a mommy.
Rhonda,
you know?
you might have to go younger.
Okay.
You might have to join the official
Twist
Cougar.
my arm.
Is it Cougar and Panthers, or Kuma and Puma? They got
Cougar.
Cougar. It's
You
another
heard-
one they have now, though.
You
might
heard-
have to Cougar.
You
it up.
heard it
know
here
the other one.
first, Miss Priscilla. I want a sparkle T-shirt with a big old cap on the front.
You might have to Cougar it up.
Okay, I'm gonna have to. I
wrong
need
with
to up
that
my
girl.
game, is what I'm hearing. Is that what I'm being told? I
Yeah,
need to
you
up
might
my
want
game.
to. You
This
after the
might.
show, you might want to talk to Mr. D. He knows some young brother. You know, some young guy. He might can help you lead you on your way. 'Cause that's what he do.
Well, I told you guys when he was gonna go and be Mr. Bachelor that I wanted to participate. I was like, okay, I'm in.
Yeah,
I'm
we still
in.
gonna have
You're
that.
gonna be counted in too, right?
That win a date with Mr. D, maybe LJ Hamilton
I'm
and
gonna
Craig
stick it in there.
on the show.
The
Miss
Rhonda.
Delanita, what's your biggest misconception?
That, you know, I know a lot of us can think that main goal is about sex, and men want more than just sex when they're in a relationship, or
That is correct.
yeah.
You win 300 on that. Keep going.
I mean, I think that's the sole thing that I've thought, and I'm understanding that it's not. That men want what we want, But I still don't understand men.
No, of course you don't. That's why you're talking to me. But I'm gonna make a statement I believe to be true. And ladies, you know, if you looking in the bathroom mirror, you talking to God at night by yourself and stuff, you know this true. I know for a fact, or believe, that women use the notion that all men want is sex as a defense for them being lazy and getting to know who or what a man is and understanding men in general. I think they use that because even if a man, that's all he wanted from you, he not going to get it unless you say yes.
Right.
So if you still have the power and you still say that's all he wants and you won't make him do anything else or go or learn about you, you basically say, I'm too lazy to understand men beyond that, because most men gonna want that anyway. That don't mean they gonna get it. That don't mean they should get it. What they should have to do is go past that to learn who you are. That's how you automatically, in basic one-on-one, find out who's there for real. Because if they come out the gate with that first, you already know that ain't what the one you want, unless that's what you trying to give out.
Right.
So when a woman says, all men want is sex, you just basically, I'm too lazy to understand the men that don't.
Yeah.
Because every man, when he sit down and ask for a date or something, he attracted to you. So that's done. You don't have to figure that out. He attracted to you, that's why he asked. Or he trying to get some money. It's either attraction or an agenda. He might want to ride. He might want some money. He attracted to you. He might want you to hook up with his sister. But what I'm saying still, even the women that you don't agree with this, I feel sorry for you. Is that it's still, the power is still in your hands. Mm-hmm. So if a man get past, because if a man is attracted to you because of the way we build, we're going to want to have sex. But it don't mean we will. Right. It's just we attracted. That's how we build, to be attracted to when we're attracted to. But that don't mean I will. A lot of them won't if he think you important enough to pursue, which is the difference between dating and courtship. Dating is when I want to get to know you. Courtship is when I made the decision I want you, in right. Basically simple terms. Yeah. And so it's still, again, I'm not saying the men not have no responsibility. I'm just talking to you ladies here today.
Yeah, we get it.
Is that if a man wants to know you, you got to get him to work to do that. And you can't say, well, just all, or I don't even believe there's no good men out here. That just means you need to expand. You might need to travel. You might need to get with a different crowd. Because let me tell you something about good men. Good men only gonna go after good women. So if you have 20 people in the room, 15 are women and 5 are men, the top women out of that 15 gonna get them 5. Because them 5 are good men. They not settling for the bottom 10. They only want the top 5 out of that 15. So when a woman says, and I've heard so many say this, there's just not a good man. What it is not enough men. But for the women that are really good, they don't have that problem. Because they're getting the cream of the crop regardless. Because the good men are not dealing with women that settle. So the women that settle have a problem. Not the good women. They don't have that problem of finding a man. Women that say, and I know some ladies right now will tell you and fight you and God. And say, I'm such a good woman. There's just no men out here. But like I said before, you could already had a good man, but just didn't know what you had because you don't understand men. You don't understand. You know, like for an example, and we talked about this on this show. I'll give you an example, and then we're gonna go to commercial break, come back with beauty and wellness, then finish the show out. When a woman claims, you know, I'm independent, be independent, but you ain't gonna get no good man that want, unless that's part of what he wants in a woman. Because men don't need independent women, they need team players. So if your crown of glory is your independence, you and your 300 cats should be independent. But you're not going to be with no man that want a great woman that he can build something with. Because he don't need independent, he need a team player, just like she want a team player. What you doing?
I just wanted to ask, I'm not sure if you answered, but you had asked, should the man solely be the one to approach a woman?
Yeah, the answer is yes. Most women. I mean, you have circumstances where the woman will be in a position, she asks a question and it goes from there. But for the most part, men are pursuers. The reason I asked y'all that question on a traditional base is that to identify again that you have all the power. And a lot of women will fight men on that because they want to accept the responsibility that if you got the power, you got to go understand men. Because they're only doing what you allow. They're only doing what you allow. Can't no man outside of extreme ridiculousness like stalking, we ain't talking about that. A man can't do anything until the woman says, yeah, I don't care what woman says the opposite. She totally wrong. She don't get it. She don't understand men.
Right.
Because if you had a power and I want you and you the woman, I'm not going to mess that up. But you're going to dictate out the gate. Now, I might dictate it because I'm Dr. Sam and, you know, I'm smooth like that in the middle and the end. But at the beginning, you dictating the speed of this. Like when a man has a one-night stand, then we're going to go to commercial. They have sex on the first day of the first week. What did a man do so good that the woman gave up sex on the first date or the first week unless that's what she wanted to do?
Exactly.
Did he flash out his cashmere gold car like Mr. D has and say, look, she saw that gold car?
You know what we're going to do.
Yeah, you already do.
Yeah.
So in reality, most women playing themselves.
We playing ourselves.
When they say I can't get a man, you can't get a good man because that's you.
Thinking that, you know, the sex is going to catch him.
Yeah, and some woman told him that. No man would never, I've never heard a man in the history of man and womankind ever say, look here, girl, I'm going to tell you the best way to get me if you give me sex. Now, he'll cry, he'll make up a story. He wants sex, but most of the time you don't see them after that.
But you really think that, though? You really how society was, you think that. But,
no, not society, women.
Yeah, women, and I'm talking about like these music videos, how they selling their bodies and dancing and
well, of course they
stuff
are.
like that. They thinking, and you know, young girls try to dress like these girls do on TV, thinking that this is their way of using their body to catch a man. But I like what you said, that the man solely should approach a woman.
Do you understand whether it's the young woman on the video or the older woman at the lounge or the mother at the church? They all in the same category. It's being expressed different. The reason these girls like that, because somebody told them the same thing. When they get older, they're going to be on the show talking about, I'm old now, and I thought that's how you get a man. When they hear man, whether it's somebody like me or whatever, they're saying that's not it. Or they brothers or uncles, and you still say it is.
Yeah.
You shooting yourself in the foot. Okay, let me go to commercial.
You've been sold a bill of goods, and if
you
bought it, you bought it.
Yeah, and you bought it from a woman. You didn't buy that from no man, because men don't sell that.
Yeah.
We just tell you what it is, and you say yes or no. So for those of you that's doing that in the first day of the week, it's because you was already going to do it anyway the minute you saw. Yeah, I know I hurt a feeling, but I love you. This is Dr. Sam, and we going to a commercial break. When we come back, Miss Delanita Ash, the one that's been talking about I love that a man pursues a woman. She'll be giving you your beauty and wellness tips, how to get your skin right, men and women, so when you come, you're glowing in the right type of way. This is the Dr. Sam, and we'll be right back. This is the Dr. Sam. Hey, I need some hand claps.
I wanted to say, like, even if
I get some hand claps for you. I'll put them on.
Go ahead, tell me what you want to do.
You got that? Them hand claps?
I can get them.
Yeah, get the hand claps, man. That's all I say. So you done hit that button. Oh, Mr. D just keep hitting it.
I probably will.
That's going to be easy.
Facebook, we coming to the end of the show. We in a commercial. We going to be back. We going to finish. Delanita Ash is going to give you some beauty and wellness tips, and we going to be finishing out the show. I hope you really been enjoying this. This has been a powerful show. I am so excited about this, and I love this show. We rocking and rolling.
Because of what we love.
Yeah, I had that next week for you.
Exactly. I know. We won't talk about that because they don't want
Don't play that secret. Don't blow it.
It ain't a secret.
Trustworthy and amazing shelter pet like Rico is to use one. Visit the shelter
This stuff not that hard to figure out.
Brought to you by Nice Farm.
When I lived in Seattle, I was talking to my youngest daughter on the phone, and I was walking down from where I lived. All you had to do was walk about 4 blocks straight downhill, a really steep hill, to get to the little local market. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to the market. You know, that was kind of like a good workout for me, was getting to the market, loading up the bag, and then going back up the hill. And I'm talking to her on the phone.
And we come out of her segment. I'm not going to go in commercial. I'll give them the last words and we'll close the show.
Okay.
I'll have to say the rest of it. Do good.
And we're back. This is your host, Dr. Sam. Yeah, I know. I'm your best friend. I get it. We together. I love you and you love me. That's just the way it is with us, the family. I appreciate it. Well, I'm in the building with Miss Delanita, Nene Ash, Miss Rhonda, the Money Coach Cobb, and the ladies, man of all ladies, man. I'm talking about our producer, engineer extraordinary, Mr. D. And later we're going to find out next week why Mr. D don't hang out at swimming pools for the moment. But, you know, that's again another story. We're talking about dating and misconceptions in relationship. And before we went to commercial break, the women were talking about a secret they think the men didn't know, but I told them I knew that secret back in 75. And so we about to bring on Miss Delanita Ash. She going to tell you before you get that date how to get your skin and face smooth for those of you that got the ash like potato chips on your forehead. Like sometimes I do. Ms. Ash.
Hello. Well, today I would like to talk about is exfoliation. Exfoliation for the skin is good for any age, any skin type, and it's good for men and women. Exfoliation is only good for once a week. It's something that you should not do on a daily basis. Exfoliation is a product that you use to exfoliate the dead skin. The dead skin usually helps remove it to bring up the new skin for your skin, and it kills off the bacteria from your skin. It helps eliminate aging skin. You know, some people may have that dull, dry look. You may have that flaky skin surface, and it's due to not exfoliating or not using the proper type of exfoliation cream that would benefit for your skin type. One of the things I do not recommend at all is any type of soap bar for your face. Usually with soap bars, they carry too much of the pH balance, which will completely dry you out. It will completely irritate your skin, and so that's something I don't recommend at all. A lot of people do. I don't care if you spent $10,000 on a soap bar, it's not good for your skin. One of the things that you can do far as exfoliation, if you have issues with breakouts, with acne, if you have that the concern with clogged up pores or blackheads, those type of things for exfoliation would definitely benefit you, and it will also bring out that natural glow of your skin type of what it should look like. So if you do not understand much about exfoliation, you're not sure which type will benefit your skin type, that is where I come in at as a professional. I do offer free skincare consultations. You can always come in or set an appointment with me, and I can examine your skin and we can determine which type of exfoliation would be good for you, whether if you should exfoliate once or twice a week. And exfoliation is just something that is very good and will very much benefit you. So my contact information is 567-277-7949, or you can reach me on my Facebook page, Delanita Ash or Nene, or through Sam here on the radio, and I'm sure he will share that information with you guys.
I am? No. All right, Miss Delanita, we appreciate that. Go check her out. She does great work. Delanita Delights, that's what she calling her face thing. That's a good name for Delanita Delights on the face.
Like that, Sam.
I know. I make sure I get my royalty maturity, and that's what I do on the spot. But I appreciate you ladies. We had a great show today, family. I hope you got something out of this, talking about dating, relationship. But I started off talking about the heart of a man, and like Mr. D said, I kind of did 2 shows in one setting, so I might split it up or leave it together. And but I appreciate you and I love you, and thank we Facebook Live people for tuning in. And before we go, I want you to remember to check out the Dr. Sam Show, www.thedrsamshow.us, only because I feel so close to you. Check me out on Facebook, The Dr. Sam Show. Go like us. I got a lot of information on there on the Dr. Sam like page. And also, I got a Dr. Sam Show group page, too. Check both of them out. And also, every Wednesday in the Toledo Journal, check me out under the column of Ask Dr. Sam, where I'm giving you advice for your heart, relationship, money, mind, and soul. And check me out. And this show will be up on the podcast by Tuesday at 2 o'clock. If you want to re-listen to this show, go to the podcast. You can get it through my website, or you can get it through the Dr. Sam Show like us page, Audio Boom / Dr. Sam Show, and click, and it'll take you right to the show and the rest of the shows I have done all the way back to August 2nd of 2015. And last but not least, check out my television show, new television show, the Dr. Sam television show, where we having a lot of fun, talking about a lot of things. Like I said, I did about 5 or 6 tapings yesterday alone. Every Tuesday at 4 p.m. I got it on YouTube while we talking about taking it to the next level. We in some talk, but we put it on YouTube so I can get instant response on what's going on and how you feel about it, what you think, and what you're going to do. So subscribe to YouTube, the Dr. Sam Show, and check out our television show. And it airs every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Now, before we go, ladies, 30 seconds. You want to leave any words for the family?
Oh, absolutely. We love you. We thank you for listening. And don't forget, you want to be grateful. But the biggest thing is be true to yourself. This week somebody said to me, I want to be like you. And I said, oh, no. You got your own little light, your own little self. You go and you be yourself and you shine your light. And once you get that straight, you will attract what you are supposed to be attracting. And that's the important thing. So
amen, Sister Rhonda.
Thank you for having us. It's been lovely.
Miss Nene.
I totally agree with Rhonda. To get to know yourself, know who you are, find your strengths, and just love on you. Love on yourself.
Yeah.
Well, family, I want to tell you, as always, I love you. We love you here from the Dr. Sam Show. I got Rhonda, Nene, and don't forget about Mr. D over here, the engineer, producer extraordinaire, and the man that rocks to I Want to Rock With You by Michael Jackson every now and then when he get a chance. And so I want you to remember this. Until next week, always tell somebody that you love them, because you never know when you may see them again. I want to tell you that I love you. This is Dr. Sam, and we out on the radio, and we about to be out on Facebook Live. But we love you, and we'll check you out next week. I got a great show next week on August the 6th at 11 a.m. Check us out, the Dr. Sam Show. Peace.
Good topic.
Nice. That's good.
Yeah.
Facebook Live, we just got on the radio. I appreciate you, all of you. I seen coming through that thing the whole time we were on. If you have any more questions or comments or concern after we're off the air, which I'm about to be in a minute off Facebook Live, the number is 419-972-1SAM. I will answer you back. And if you ask me something ridiculous, I'm going to put you on the air. So, peace. I love you. And remember, always tell somebody you love them, because you never know when you may see them again. I love you, and I'm going to see you next week, August the 6th at 11 a.m. this same time. And remember, check out my television show on YouTube. We doing the YouTube first, the Dr. Sam television show, every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Check it out. I love you. Peace.
Yay.
Peace.
Yay. We love you too, Dr.